Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Asha Gabriel, and today I wanted to dive in and give you a state of the real estate market here in Orange County as we enter 2022. So the economist in me wanted to walk you through what's been going on over the last 3 years in real estate locally here, tracking listings, actual sales, and price trends. So on the whole, the trend that we see for number of listings available usually follows kind of a bell curve as the year goes on. We start the year kind of slow, and then as we hit the spring and summer months, especially in this beautiful sunny place, the number of listings usually picks up. And then as we near the holiday months, the end of the year, they dip down. And actually, in 2019, 2020, and 2021, we still generally followed that curve, of course, dipping a little bit lower towards the end of the year in 2021. Now, when we look at actual home sales, we usually see a similar bell curve, but it's a little bit more shallow, and it is tilted slightly to be a little bit higher at the end of the year. Now, the reason for that is listings are the precedent to sales. Sales are a little bit more of a lagging factor. So we saw that same curve happen in 2019, but then of course the exception to the rule was 2020 when we entered that deep quarantine. Actual home sales did plummet for a few months before picking up again in June. Now, as a result, as we moved through the pandemic, the quantity of sales that started in 2021 started at a higher rate and actually peaked a little bit higher than it normally would in 2021. Now the picture starts coming together a little bit more when we look at actual prices. In Orange County, we've always had a steady increasing median price year over year. So in 2019 and 2020, those prices continue to steadily increase. But of course, we saw in 2021, if you're combining that increasing demand throughout this period of time, when people are realizing, Orange County has been this safe haven throughout even a pandemic, lots of different political, economic insecurities going on in our nation. Living here, despite quarantine, despite of all these different changes to our businesses, living here has really weathered the storm. So more and more demand has been drawn into Orange County from places like LA, from other states or even countries. So in that combined excess demand with that low inventory explains why we're seeing these record-setting, unbelievably sky-high prices, and there's really not that much on the market. So where are we going from here? If we look at a more macro level at 2022, there's always going to be bullish and bearish perspectives on where the market's going. But the general consensus is that the market will cool a little bit this year in 2022, but really not by much. Now, real estate, especially in a place like Orange County, where you have just a limited amount of land, and especially coastally, you can't build up. So that land is finite, and that therefore increases demand even more. Real estate has always been a safe haven investment, steadily increasing over time. So we had this anomaly of a year, though. Between 2020 and 2021, home prices increased by 20% across different areas, but especially here in Orange County. So if we're talking about that cooling down, we have our bullish and our bearish perspectives. So on the bullish side, on a national level, Goldman Sachs thinks that 20% level could just come down to about 16% for the next year, which is still pretty aggressive and a strong return on your investment. Just below that, Zillow has predicted that level is going to be about 13% as opposed to the last year's 20%. Now, on the more conservative side, CoreLogic predicts that number to actually come down to closer to 2.2%. So that'll be a pretty dramatic change from that 20% increase down to 2.2. Now, kind of right in the middle, Fannie Mae on a national level predicts that we'll come down to a really healthy, steady price appreciation of around 8%. Now, those are all national numbers. What can we really expect here in Orange County when you're looking to make or continue an investment here in Orange County real estate? I think that you can actually take those numbers and add in all of those lifestyle factors and also a lot of the renovation and new development that's happened over the past few years. In my neighborhood here alone, here in Dover Shores, it used to be that there were a set number of really, really desirable streets, and then you kind of scaled back from there two still really beautiful streets, but not necessarily, up and coming parts of the neighborhood. Now, over the past year, even just walking the streets with my little toddler, I've seen, even the less desirable past parts of the neighborhood have this surge in new reconstruction, development, and the neighborhood has just been on fire as this really safe, desirable place to live. So especially on the buying side, it's a really competitive market, we know, here in Orange County. But on the whole, placing your money in real estate is a really safe hedge against inflation as we kind of enter this new year of expected volatility. Now, with the right agent, I really believe that we can help you find the right investments and ensure that your Orange County real estate portfolio will continue to grow and flourish, and that you will too. So to sum it up, as we enter 2022, really that lack of inventory, I think, is going to be a continued problem here as we face the next year. But again, with the right agent, we can bring you solutions. There are increased, off-market opportunities, especially when you're working with someone on a small team that's highly communicative, which mine is. And there are really creative ways to make your offer more desirable to sellers who really just still have that hold on the market right now. Some of these solutions are offering rent backs to your sellers, making sure that all of your financing and approach and the offer that you're writing makes a lot of sense. So I would love to help you through this process. Reach out to me for more information. So you can find me across social media channels at the Asha Gabriel, and I'd love to connect with you there. If you got something out of this video, I'd really appreciate a like, a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have further questions or want to know something specific about the real estate industry down here, and reach out to me. I work again at the Deaf Hearing Group here in Orange County, and we can't wait to hear from you.